The Yamaha Clavinova product line has consisted of two main groups for many years, the CVPs and the CLPs. In 2017, Yamaha announced a brand new product series called the CSP. It was the first big announcement in probably 20 plus years. Really exciting technology is poured into the CSP and it makes it a smart pianist. Today we answer, does the smart pianist do the thinking for you? Stick around.
Hi, this is Ted with Alamo Music Center in beautiful downtown San Antonio, Texas.
I'm Patrick Marr. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels, check out our other videos, sign up for notifications, like our videos, leave us comments. We really appreciate the support, and we love to interact with you guys. Well, Ted, this is the CSP, and we've done videos similar to this one. We've done the 170. We've done the CSP-150 versus CVP-805. That was an interesting one. We did it probably a year ago. But kind of looking at the technology of CVP and the technology of CSP and kind of what are the differences, how do they incorporate a lot of the same elements, and then what are these series for and who are they for? But today we're primarily tackling the CSP in the form of the CSP-150. And we were looking through our catalogs, we've never highlighted the CSP-150, and we know we're here in 2021 and this product came out almost 4 years ago now. We were at the training, remember? We went
to this keyboard is so smart, they made us go to school to get smart.
They did. We had to drive a long way to get there.
Yeah, we did, and it was like 2 or 3 days. And I was really amazed at the amount of technology and the ability to go in and use the technology with this instrument.
Yeah.
As more so with the CVP or the CLP, and I thought, what else could you possibly need or come up with? And then admittedly, at that smart training class, they said, we actually invented an instrument that kind of sort of competes with our two existing models. And I think that's why this one hasn't really gotten a lot of marketing and all that, is mostly because of that, because it's so much like the CVP and the CLP, but it's entirely different on its own.
And I think it's interesting because Yamaha presented it that way. They said this is very similar to both of these, but we think it's for a new customer. And it was for because I remember their pitching of this. They were like, you know, there's traditional piano practice, there's arrangement, there's these heavy music focused instruments for the end consumer. But what about the first time buyer? What about
So many first time buyers are technologically driven. They're looking for a technological product. And when this comes up on their technology list, is like, how can a piano be high on tech? It's carved out of wood. But they start looking at it, and it's like you can actually sit down and play a song, and it'll produce a chart for you. Or you could have it recorded off of a guitar and play it, and it'll make a chart for you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so it's the technology is so cool, and that's why we have it going here behind us. This is actually, I think it's Canon in D right here. And it's playing, and if you can see the light streaming down, this is what makes the smart piano a smart piano.
Well, yeah, if you take like a 2 or 3 year old kid and you never give them any kind of music classes, and or even an adult, someone that's grown up a gamer, and they know nothing about playing an instrument, within, I mean, a matter of weeks, they can, the first day they can play a song. Within a matter of a few months, they can be playing some really complicated music, just by using the follow the lights.
Yeah, and I think it's birthed out of that idea because on the CVP series for a long time now, there's been, and even on organs, there was lights above the keys
that light up.
That lit up, and so they called it follow the light at first, and it was on the CVP series, and it was kind of a hit. It was hey Dad, sit down, you can play Amazing Grace right now, or hey, sit down, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it was very basic at that point. It was the light would shine over this key and you had to like press it right then or it would wait for you. You can turn on the setting where it waits for you and things like that. And they kind of expanded on that idea and they said, hey, this really draws in the not piano person. So maybe mom's shopping for a piano and the whole family's there. But hey, Dad, sit down, follow these lights and play a piece right now for us. And it brings in the non-musician and it has them sitting down playing something. Because what's the most frustrating part about learning music?
Not knowing which keys to push.
Exactly.
This is the kind of like two-tone colored Space Invaders. And that's the first thing I thought of, is that this looks like Space Invaders coming down and you just hit the keys. And it keeps them from, I guess, hitting the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And so what makes this piano smart is that it can take instructions from you, from audio instructions or playing instructions.
Or MIDI instructions.
Or MIDI instructions, and play it back for you. And it can also play back and allow you to change it.
Yeah.
And then
I
it's
think
so smart, it shows you which keys you need. If you come in with a song, say, here, how do I play this on piano? It'll take it, convert it, make a very similar chart. And show you how to play it.
Yeah, no, and that's and you didn't misspeak there, because I know some people are like, well, it has to be a MIDI file to read it, but it actually can read audio and convert audio to charts that are very similar. It's, I would say, somewhere to 70 to 80% accurate when it comes to giving the Smart Pianist app an audio file and saying, hey, can you turn this into a chord for me? And so I think they use John Lennon's Imagine on it. There's material you can buy directly from Yamaha on their website, MusicSoft, but there's also the capability, if you own the songs, and we won't be able to show this because of copyright issues, but if you own the music on your, say, iTunes, and you have it saved on your device, it can't be synced with the cloud, but if the audio file is there present, it can actually take that and convert it into chord charts, and you can take those chord charts and play along to your favorite songs. It will kind of give you a starting point, and it will actually stream down. And that's a very advanced function of this.
Oh, it really is. It's a piano that does all of the theoretical music thinking for the person.
And what's cool is, I know you were saying the Smart Pianist it's had a hard time finding who is it for. I will note it is always one of the best sellers at the events that we go to where we bring out Clavinovas, because it's always the person who's like, I don't want to worry about lessons. I don't want to worry about, like, I want to kind of take it at my own time. I want to be able to play, what I want to play right then. And it's always done well at those events. People who weren't expecting to buy a piano or weren't expecting a digital piano, it always surprises them. Those are the people it does, I think, resonate with. But I will also say that this technology, I think, was a seeding for.
It draws a lot of professionals to it.
Yeah.
To make charts. I mean, I saw the market as complete novice amateur and complete professional and anyone in between. It's just, if they're more driven and prone to wanting technological uses in their music and their keyboard, this is the one to get. It's
very cool. And I applaud Yamaha for taking some of this technology and spreading it out through the line. I think we've touched on this before, but the CSP and the Smart Pianist app, that Smart Pianist app has basically become a digital controller for a lot of their instruments, all the way down to the P-125.
Right.
What is that, like a $700 portable
gig keyboard.
Yeah, it's a gig keyboard, but you can take that same app that's on here, and really it's a controller of the functions. We get this question a lot. They're like, oh, well, if they update the software, do I get the new piano sounds on it? Or if they update this, and no, it's actually unlocking what's already in the instrument. So the first thing on the CSP that you see is there's only one button. There's a volume control, there's a power button. And that's really all that you need to control this whole unit, because it plugs in directly to an iPad or an Android controlled device. And that's your whole control. You can go through your voices, your sounds, your song selects, your styles. We're going to highlight all that because those are kind of what Yamaha is famous for in the CVP line, and it kind of translates very smoothly into the CSP. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of how cool this instrument is, and it's been here for about 4 years. We're probably waiting for a release at this point, because I know we've done videos on the new CLP 700 series, the new CVP 800 series. The CSP seems like the next in line to get their kind of facelift, if you will, and changes. There's going to be, because we're looking at this and we're saying, hey, this still has the old action on it. It has the.
I like the way it plays.
I know that it's the G3X, or yeah, GH3X.
GS3, yeah.
Yeah, GH3X. And that's that graded hammer action. It's a great feeling instrument, but that was, I think, the current thing on the CLP 5s and 600s. And now they have that Grand Touch S, which we'll probably see on the next version of the CSP. But just little small incremental things like that are on those new series. The CSP-150 still has a little bit older sounds on it, as well as the way it feels.
The other thing too is that when we were talking about it, you were talking about how it can make a chart or sheet music and stuff, is it doesn't just make one. It gives you a couple recommendations for a part to play off of an audio thing.
And you can change it. You can look at it in chord structure. So like someone like me, I would look at it and be like, okay, that's G minor 7. And you can look at it chord structure, or you can do the sheet music. And if you're someone who needs to see it in sheet form, boom,
You
these
put
are
it
the
there.
notes I'm hitting.
It's really fascinating. Again, they used Imagine in the class as a demonstration, and it was really impressive. I think it initially came up with 5 or 6 different piano parts, and it invents those based on its own AI inside there. But what's neat about it is that some of the parts it suggests are real close or spread out over the whole song. So like it'll give you a walking chord part through the whole song or just single note parts. And so it has a lot of different recommendations, and I was really impressed with that.
It's very cool, and honestly, it's incredible that they can do that with audio files.
Yeah, and then what they said in the class is that the ability for what this instrument does has always been contained within the CVP and the CLP. They just never really brought out a software package that lets it be utilized like this. And so they didn't have to invent a whole lot to make this keyboard.
Yeah.
They just had to bring it out.
Yeah.
And I was really impressed with that.
Well, so the CSP-150 has it's very similar to the 735 and the 635 before it. 30 watts per side on speakers. They're usually it's the top of the line keyboard action with the plastic keys. The 170 has the wood keys, the NWX action in that. So just small things like that. The Bluetooth is only available on the 170, not on the 150. So just a couple big, step ups, and of course a price increase between the 150 and 170. But let's play it. Let's look at the Smart Pianist app, and let's also listen to some of the sound samples and see how cool the CSP-150 really is.
You know, when we were talking, I hope you noticed the way I played, but one thing I forgot to mention at the beginning is the piano room. And I forgot to mention that that is one of my favorite things. It's the first go-to when I sit down on this thing. And it's the first thing I take a customer to. It's like, look, this is the CSP. It does all of this, but check out the piano room.
It's cool. It's cool because I feel like Yamaha, when they saw the vision for the CSP, it started trickling in from, like you said, the CVP and CLP. And this was a feature that they had been pushing for a couple years, but I feel like it finally kind of became their home button. It takes you right to their best piano sound.
And they got pictures of it right there. I mean, it's a smart piano, okay, but all the other ones are the same thing. They put a picture so you know what it is, the instrument, whether it says Fender Rhodes, Suitcase, it doesn't matter. That's the one I want.
And it showcases the grand piano open. You can mess with the lid and you can adjust it and close the lid.
Sound parameters
you can
change.
You can change the environment, so you can go from studio to
concert hall,
cathedral.
That one I like.
And so it just adds reverb. Of course, it adds it dampens it when the lid is closed, but it kind of just brings you back to, hey, this is a piano. This is our best piano sound. This is what you bought it for. Of course, there's a whole bunch of this other stuff. There's not noise, but there's a whole bunch of cool features on this. But when you remember, just come back to the piano room and like with a touch of one button, bring me back to the piano room. And just a great sounding instrument, the CFX 9-foot. You can add in the styles too now into the piano room, so you can add in the full band and you're playing along. It's following your key strokes. So if you're playing a C with your bass, it's playing C behind you and you're doing your melody. So just a lot of fun stuff that brings the CSP as a great addition to the line. I think we'll see with the next release of the CSP. I'm excited to see where they go with that.
Next.
I think there's a potential for a lot of cool upgrades, being able to hopefully connect Bluetooth only, so you don't have a wire on the instrument, things like that.
Sure.
So just really neat to see where the future is going. One of the things we do like about the wire plugged in is it actually charges your tablet while you're using it. So if you're someone like me who has their tablet on their grand piano, I don't have a charger anywhere, so it dies on me, every couple of days. And I'm like,
you got to plug it in.
Yeah, and so just a really cool instrument, the CSP-150. Ted, any last things that you loved about the CSP?
I do like that they had it on a tablet form, and it's almost like you can see the whole inside of the keyboard and what it's capable of doing. And instead of going down like through functional screens and stuff, you can just go right to it. That part, the ease of use with their software just opened up the whole inside of the keyboard for even a novice or someone that doesn't care to learn any of it.
Yeah.
It's like phone features.
It unlocks it and it makes it right there. And I think it reminds you that there's so much technology out there that you can bring right to your instrument.
To your palm.
Yeah, and so I think Flow Key works with it really well as well. Some other apps out on the market, but just a great piece of technology, great addition to the Clavinova line. Well, this is Ted Barcelou. I'm Patrick Marr with Alamo Music in San Antonio. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our YouTube channels. We have 3 of them. We like to bring you guys new content. Like our videos, leave us comments. We love to interact, and we really appreciate all your support. Thanks for watching.